Hi, guys. Welcome back to Finding Your Indie. I'm Bonnie Paulson,
And I'm Andy Stevens.
and we are here today with another awesome brand spotlight. Now, we mentioned this in our last Monday marketing tips and tricks, but we just wanted to make sure that everybody's aware of what's going on moving forward. We've had a lot of people requesting brand spotlights, and so we are going to hold off on doing ad account audits. Not that anybody signed up for them. And we're going to also hold off on doing Random Fact Thursdays. So we will be doing brand spotlights until we run out, and then we'll go back to our normal schedule. And if you want to be in a brand spotlight, we would love to do it. And also for scheduling purposes and legality purposes, we're probably just going to hold off on having anybody actually on the video with us. It's a lot easier for us to do it at our own schedule rather than trying to get 3 people to schedule. That's really rough. So we're just going to go forward this way. Hopefully it's helpful. And hopefully if you guys have any questions, you feel comfortable reaching out to us. Again, we really, really, really would love to have more authors to do. So just let us know what we need to do. So today, I'm going to let Mandy actually intro our author, and we're going to go from there.
So we are featuring TK Lawyer. I absolutely adore her. She comes to Orlando Reads Books every single year. She is probably the very best person that I have on a panel because she's so lively. And I've actually bought her books because of it. And, I usually don't read a lot of sexy stuff. It's just not my thing. But the way she talked about her books was like, oh, I have to read it because there's so much more to the books than just sexiness.
Right. And that's awesome. Yeah. She's such a sweetheart. She's so sweet.
And she's the one, she always has these cute little cat ears on. So I love that she does that for her branding because every time she goes, people can easily recognize her because she has her little cat ears.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool. Does she have cats in her brand? Or is it just like sexy kitten kind of
I
idea?
don't think so.
Okay.
I know she likes shifters. But
okay. Well, then
she's just cute. She's just cute. Yeah.
She's just cute. That's awesome. Okay, well, let's dive into this. I'm going to have you take point on this and I'll just make conversation, whatever. Okay. But since you know her, let's dive in. Again, this is our normal brand spotlight. Well, we have not looked at her stuff previously. Mandy might have at some point because they're friends. Yeah. I have not seen her stuff. I have not looked at it. So I might make some summations based on, so if you want me to do that first, like this is what I think it is. I mean, you just told me she writes shifters, but that way we can kind of get like a rough one-time see. Again, ignore what's in my cart. I've got a lot going on. So
I do want to say that I do not offer advice to anyone unless they come to me. And so she's coming to us. So I just want to preface that. I haven't said anything to her or anybody else. So
okay.
I think that's important.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Oh, no, of course. Yeah. You know her. I'm just saying, I'm not saying, I think that is important. We don't walk up to someone and say, oh, I noticed your brand. That's not what we do. It's hey, can you get some help? Yeah, we'd love to give you our opinion and what we think would sell and how to fix something. But we would never, ever. And even if you don't take our advice, we're not saying it's like the end all be all advice either. I think that's important to caveat sometimes because just because we say something doesn't mean it's gold. It works. It does work. And we've helped a lot of people actually fix their brands and actually fix their business. But that doesn't mean it's the only way to do something. So I do like that you caveated that. Okay, we're going to share a screen and so I've already pulled her up. She's already sitting on my thing. I just haven't looked. I'm going to share a screen. Here we go. Yep, this is her Amazon page. I went here first, didn't look at her books or anything. And so we're just going to actually scroll down to her books here. This one is set up so it's in popularity. So it's the first book left to right, top to bottom on what's the most popular of her books. And I am surprised that Christmas one is most popular until I saw the picture. That's a really good picture of the guy.
I think she just had a freebie on that.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So see, I don't love the cover. It's very difficult for me to see what's going on.
It's hard to read I can't read the
I can tell I can't read the title, the embossing. My co-writer will tell you I absolutely hate embossing with a passion. It reminds me of 1990 Photoshop. So if I see that, I automatically think it's a self-published book.
It's funny because I love the embossing. I think it looks awesome. I can't see it on here. It's just, it's very like there's a lot going on here. So so
you can tell it's Christmas though because of the red. And so I see the red. Suit. I'm like, oh, jingle bears. So I know it's a bear shifter, which I love. Right. But overall, I hate the font.
And the author font is not her. Is that her brand? I can't tell if that's her brand font or not.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, well, it's not on all of the books. So, okay.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I think the other one's an anthology, but I can't see the background in that.
And it looks like there might be a bear in there.
I don't know. I can't tell what it is.
Okay. This one looks more to market, where you have a guy and then there's the wolf. So that one I can tell that one's a shifter. That's good.
Yeah, I like that cover.
Yeah, that's
because I can tell what's going on. And you look at it, you know exactly it's the shifter.
Yeah.
It's very clean looking. It's easy to see, especially.
Now, are these set up in series? Does she have series? I don't
know.
I don't see any.
I've only read a couple. I read Nightfall before. That's the book I had bought at the conference.
Okay.
Which I like the cover.
It's on pre-order.
You can see what's going on. Maybe she's redoing it. I thought that was the one I had bought. Was a different cover though.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let's go more. Let's see more. Okay.
Like you can see the Centurion and Jasper. You can tell that's in a series.
Yes, it is in a series. Okay.
But
there's no series. There's no ebook for him either.
Maybe she took them down. Okay. I mean, those covers are great and they're very to market.
Yes, these are. Yes, I was going to say out of all of them, I think these are the ones that are to market, and it's branded very clearly for the series. And I don't know where they're at. There's no ebook for them.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe she pulled them.
Okay. Yeah. So I feel a little like I'm wading into something that I'm not quite sure what this is. So without sounding rude, I think first of all, right out of the gate, the covers are not going to be doing her any favors right now. I'm just thinking that a lot of these covers are not doing her any favors. Some of these where like, this is a great image. I think the image is great. If that's what it is, it looks like a military romance. It does not look like a shifter one at all.
No, but if you look at Picture Imperfect, that's not shifter either.
No.
I think she's writing multiple genre here.
Yeah. And the Angels Ex-Wives Club, that premise just right there, the title, I love the premise of that. I think that's great. But again, the covers you can't read it. These aren't even thumbnail. These are pretty big on my laptop, and I'm having a really hard time reading.
I think it's the fonts.
Well, it's the font set on the background. I can't see them.
Yeah, like I can't even read what's above her name there. Like international best-selling author. I read it on Daybreak, but barely.
Okay. Yeah, I think. Okay, let's go back to her home and let's look at her bio. Okay, so her bio says passionate, playful, paranormal. Okay, so paranormal, if that is in your brand tagline, then every single book needs to be paranormal on some level. And for instance, when we saw the military one, that one, and then the playful one that you saw, those were definitely not, at least they didn't look at from a.
They're not. It says in here she writes contemporary romance as well. So she needs to separate those.
Yeah. So
because her audience doesn't know what they're getting, and they can't read the titles either, or at least I can't because I'm blind.
Right. So she's been writing since high school. That's cute. Okay. So right out of the gate, though, what I'm saying is if she's going to have passionate, playful, and paranormal, then the books need to be paranormal. I don't care what it says down here. If this is your tagline, then you need which is what she has in her logo, passionate, playful, paranormal, then that means all of your books need to be paranormal in that pen name, because that's what you have literally said your brand is. So if I'm expecting passionate, playful, paranormal, and I go into the books and I see something like this one, which is obviously not shift. It's not paranormal. This one's not paranormal. I'm going to be very confused.
I don't know what escapade is, period. I can't tell from it
looks like there might be an angel wings in there, but yeah, I can't tell. I can't tell what they shifter shorts. Let's go into, I'm just going to go into Picture Imperfect and let's see what.
Okay. So it's a short book. It's only 137 pages.
Okay.
Contemporary romance. Okay.
Yeah, this is contemporary romance. Okay. So this blurb I'm kind of throwing, it looks kind of like it was written in like poetry style, like prose style. I'm not sure. Okay. Yeah. This is contemporary. So this is not.
But I hate the font on that. I can't even read it.
Right. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. So let's assume that, so Tamara, if this was me, I would split out my pen. I would split out my works. I would go strictly paranormal, contemporary, right? Like I would literally split those two out. And we have a video on how exactly to split out pen names, when and how and what you need to do in order to do that coming up. Okay.
Yeah, because several people are asking us how to do that now that we're doing these brand spotlights and suggesting it. So
yeah, exactly. They're wondering how to do it. So we're not like throwing you to the wolves, pun intended. So so with your shifters, you would go over here and do a new pen name, do this. And here's the thing. It should not cost you thousands and thousands of dollars to recover these books. We're not asking you to go out and get the best cover designer. All we're recommending is that you get better covers, more to market, more to brand. So you can go things like Mibly Art is actually pretty affordable. Fiverr, I know people who get covers off of Fiverr and they look really nice. We just need
Get covers. Yeah, Get Covers. I think they were $35 each. They may have gone up from now, but I had some covers done through there. And you can also join the cover marketplace. They have tons of covers in there. That's a group on Facebook, which is great.
Yeah. And that's awesome. Find pre-mades. So then you would go your contemporaries. Same thing. I would treat them the same way. I would do paranormals, recover them to market. I would do your contemporaries, recover them to market. You don't have to spend a ton of money to get nice covers. If you are like, I just need to fix if you like the images or whatever, just fix your font, at least fix your fonts. That's a
make it readable. Thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Fonts
these aren't even thumbnails and it's difficult to read.
Yeah. Then that's a big deal. It really is. Like Mandy said, it's like, oh, that's self-published, not just indie published. Indie published is fine. But when something looks self-published, meaning the author did everything themselves and didn't get help from anybody, that immediately gives you this really bad stigma. Like right out of the gate, it's like, oh, the cover's not very good. I bet the writing's not very good. So you go
and that's not true because I've read her books and the writing.
Oh, I know. But what I'm saying is it gives you this predisposition of this isn't going to be very good. So when the reader goes into it thinking it's not going to be very good, they're looking for reasons why it's not good. So it's going to be.
I'm sure her ratings will come up too if she changes the covers.
Yes,
because it's a psychological thing.
Yeah, it is definitely psychological.
I also want to say she has several angel books. Are these a series? Because if not, for marketing reasons, they should be set up as a series.
Right. So my next thing I was going to recommend is that you figure out and put them into series, which you do inside your Amazon page. If some of these are wide, some of these are in Kindle Limited, some of them aren't, whatever it is. And if get them organized. If they're not part of a series, consider putting them into a series and very easily linking them somehow in the back of the books, right?
Make them the same world. Yeah.
And then if they are, make sure your covers look branded like your Centurion. I don't know what's going on with the Centurion, but that one would probably be
Where's that one at?
That was the series clear down here. These ones.
Those are gorgeous.
These are just awesome. I'm not sure why these aren't available. I can get them. You can't get them. You can't find them anywhere. This cover is an anthology, but that one just screams contemporary romance. That needs to be a different pen name. So that's what like Mandy and I are saying, these covers are gorgeous. They just look awesome. So I don't know.
You know exactly what you're getting into there.
Yes.
So I don't know if they were with a publisher, if she's doing something different with them, but they're gorgeous.
Yeah, those are very, very awesome. Very easy to read. It's just clean. It just looks cool.
And they're good books. I have Jasper and Nightfall. I think I had that one. I don't know if she's re-releasing it with a new cover, or that the old cover was great too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is a great idea too. Coloring book and stuff like that's great. I think all that's smart. I think that's what you should be doing. But yeah, I would definitely be splitting those out. Now, if you're like, I don't know what my covers should look like, let's go and look. Let's go and look at a Bear Shifter Christmas book. Let's just go and look. So you just look it up and you say, okay, this one looks amazing. And I'm not saying copy the cover at all. I'm saying this is what it should look like. Yeah. See how clean the font is. The name is easy to read. The coloring's great. This is exactly what it should look like. It's something just like this. That's just gorgeous. These are great. So when you're looking for them, it's very easy. Exactly what you are. If you're bear, romance, paranormal, shifter, go and research it. You can see exactly what some of the covers are. And you can even say, oh, I can tell I don't like that one.
That Bear Hero. Yeah.
Yeah, that one looks really cool. Yeah. So there's things that you can, where you can say, oh yeah, I don't like this. Look at it yourself and say, is this something that I like? Is this something that I wouldn't like? Is this something, like this? It's clean looking. This is a wolf shifter. I could have told you that without even reading the thing. It's a wolf. Yeah. You can see the wolf in it. And you have the bear in it. I know you can't see it, Mandy, but there is a bear in it, but you can't, it's really hard to tell. I would go after something very similar to these styles. Like I said, this cover at the very top, that is just a cool,
I know. I'm like, oh.
I know, like, oh, maybe.
And she writes, I think in her bio it said BBW, but she's not putting it in.
Right.
It's top, so she needs to say that. Yeah, she needs to say nothing looks like it's in a series. So
yeah, nothing looks like it's in a series. Nothing looks like the metadata is holding correctly. I'm just gonna, and I don't know who Ariana Hawks is, but obviously she's doing something right. I'm gonna go in there and I'm just gonna say, this is what you do. You go in, you find the ones that look good, the ones that are ranking, the ones that have great. This is a great review. That's awesome. So then you come in and you look at look at that. This is great. This is the bolding. It's formatted nicely. You want to be making sure that you are delivering the same expectations that you need for these specific books. Like that's what you have to do.
So look at her. She's including a free book. She shows exactly all the books she has in series.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, this is great. This is all excellent. It's very easy to read. Very easy to read logo. Like everything is just clean. It's just, that's what you want. That's what you want to be looking for. So I would do that for your contemporary. I would do that for your.
Can I look at her blurbs for her shifters? Because I didn't even see.
Oh yeah, for TK.
I didn't care for the blurb for the contemporary we saw.
So like for the Jingle Bear shifter.
Yeah. Check.
So this is good. There's bolding. That's really good. It actually draws your eye down.
Yeah, but I don't love the style, but
the style. This is, what do you mean the style? Like how it's written, or because the way it looks is exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like there should be more like the last one we saw. Like they became best friends, but that was a long time ago. Sweet and caring.
Oh, you mean the hook needs to be stronger? Yeah, it definitely needs a stronger hook.
As a woman, the jingle gives interest to his best friend. Yeah,
because if it's just I'm thinking of this as, okay, this is just a little sweet romance because there's really no stakes. And it's a short book, but that's okay. We can still have stakes mentioned. So you need to focus on goal, motivation, and conflict for your blurb. Even if it's just a sweet romance where they're fighting over cookies, like you still need to have your goals, motivations, and conflicts. It needs to be very clear. This is what she wants. He's in the way of her getting it, or whatever's in the way of her getting it. And now that's what, and why does she want that? So that's what you need to make sure your blurbs are. I do like the formatting. That's exactly what I always recommend. Put the bolding throughout. It's great use of white space, the sizing, everything is great, but the blurb itself is, it's like, I don't know. It's
okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Okay. Let's go look at another one. Because let's look at Serenade, since we like that cover. Okay. So she is using the formatting. Oops. Which is good. Okay, and she does have some metadata in here, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I would put the word count in there. People don't usually know what that means. It's a standalone. I would put that. I would make that up here. Standalone paranormal shifter romance right up at the top. Okay, a wolf that a witch who doesn't date. There needs to be some bolding, and that's cute. A wolf.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that tagline a lot. And the cover looks good.
Yeah, it does.
I think she won an award for it. I can't.
Yeah, there's a little award.
Yeah.
Sticker badge thingy on it. I think that looks great. And it also makes me wonder, well, why didn't you do a series with it? But
yeah,
you see, I'm just going to go down here. Okay. So she's got, the majority are 5 and 4 star. If you wanted to know what was wrong with it, come in and just look at you would look at the more constructive or the more critical reviews to kind of see what it is that they thought it fell short on.
Yeah, but it's got good reviews.
Oh, it has good. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it does. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if you were looking and you wanted to get higher reviews, go in and read your more critical ones, ignore the mean things that people say, and just read it for what you could do better. And then also read in your good reviews on what the like they usually do like a word thing. Where is it? Oh, they don't have it on yours, but they usually have like a thing that has like, it's like a word cloud and it says things that are mentioned like paranormal, shifter, da, da, da. So when they do that, then you can kind of see, okay, the majority of people think that it's a great shifter or a strong romance or whatever. So you just go through and you're going to pick out the things that people are saying. I cared about both of them, whatever. So you want to get the similarity so you know what you're doing right. And it's always good to know what you're doing, quote unquote, wrong so that you learn how to do it better. So this one looks really good though. I mean, it's 4.3 on Goodreads. That's next to impossible to get. So that's good.
Pricing's okay. You could probably go up to $3.99.
Yeah, especially at the 200 pages. You could do $3.99. Plus, if you're in, is it in Kindle?
Nope.
It's not in unlimited. Oh, okay. So why you could do some more fun stuff with this. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I think it's with a publisher because there's
okay. Luminosity. Is that her?
I don't know.
That's something that might be a good thing to note. Okay, well, that's cool. I mean, this is awesome. I'm just going to do a look inside. It's all clean, really cleanly formatted. Want to be kitten. That's why she wears the ears. That's cute.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Cute. I love that. Yeah, this is awesome. I think it's great. Yeah, I think that is her.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, it looks good. And the inside looks good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. So it's great. Yeah. So I think if we did that, I think that would be the first thing that you'd want to do is focus on separating out paranormals and contemporaries. And I know it sounds like a lot. Oh my gosh. Trust me. I know it sounds like a lot. You want to figure out what's tied in together as series, what's not, make it very clear, part of a series. And like Mandy said, BBW, focus on that, put that up here. I would do standalone paranormal shifter romance. Standalones do really well. And because there's just not enough of them. And there's people who want to read standalones. I like series, but I'm like, I really could use just a standalone right now. I don't need the commitment for a series, but
I will. I'm a series person. I love to know, or at least knowing that it's in the same world,
Yeah, exactly. Tie it in somehow. But sometimes it's nice to know what I'm getting into. I thought, because I was just looking for a standalone, that's all I wanted. And this author didn't have it connected to anything. I thought, oh, okay, it's a standalone. That's cool. And so I downloaded it, read it through. The very end was one of the biggest cliffhangers I've ever read. And I was livid. And I was like, where's the next book? I'll read it. And I love series, but when I'm thinking I'm getting one thing, and I'm getting something completely different, I get really upset because it's like, this is not what I was expecting. So here, if you're like Serenade, this is a standalone. I would do Serenade, standalone paranormal shifter romance. Awesome. Then you can
if it's in the same world as your other books, let people know that it's in the same
put that world. In here, put it in here down in the review section, editorial reviews, or, added, from the author or whatever, like on that other page. But ultimately what you want to do is you study, look and see what do these covers look like. And if you're just like, I'm not sure, grab some comp authors, which we talk about a lot, grab some comp authors and send them to your cover designer, send them and say, this is the style that I like. Can you come up with something that's similar or something that feeds the market like this does? It doesn't need to be similar, but same tone, same feeling, same whatever, because
change the fonts from what you're using.
Yes, definitely change the fonts from what you're using. I would avoid the embossing if that's, because that might be lending, especially with cursive. I never use embossing with cursive. When I use embossing, I use it on things that are like, they look almost like metal. So I'm trying to give it a metal look, but I only use embossing if I'm like actually trying to make it look like a 3D thing. Usually I use stroke and like the dark, like the drop shadow and stuff to give it more of that look that I think most people think they're getting with the embossing. So if you have to use it, don't use it on script. Embossing is not good on script ever. It
just makes it difficult to read.
Yeah, it does. It makes it really difficult to read. And it's all, the script has already got a lot going on. So when you add the embossing, it's like, this is a lot. So anyways, so
I just want to say that she's nailing the hard part already because her books are good.
Yeah, that is the hard. You can't fix. I mean, that's really hard to say. I hate to say this, but you can't fix that. Like, you really can't. People are like, "Oh, I think I write a good book," and it's like, yeah, but you have like 2-star reviews. Like, that's all you have. That says that you really, maybe you can't, or maybe you're in the wrong genre, or maybe like there's a lot of things going on. But yeah, your books are good. So if you can fix the packaging and fix the expectation, which is what the brand is what the expectation is from the reader, I think you'll see a big difference and your reader experience will be heightened, which is always a good thing. Yeah, I think those two things, separate out for pen names, and it can be as simple as TK lawyer and Tamara lawyer, or K lawyer, whatever. You can still have the same last name, whatever. But when I did that, I had Bonnie, and then I separated it to Bonnie R. Paulson and BR Paulson. When I separated them, it was very, this is the mentality I had for BR, and this is the mentality I had for Bonnie, and Mandy has the same thing. Mia and Ellie, they're two different people, and you have to treat them like two different people. So you can put
different readers.
Yeah, you have different readers, and it's okay for crossover. But, you can tell them, hey, this is me over here. And you can still keep the same newsletter and just be like, if you like contemporaries, this is who's going to be writing my contemporary, this is the name for my contemporary romances. If you are strictly into paranormal, and then you start tagging them and filtering them according to who they are interested in, what they're clicking on. And it takes some time. And after about 3 months, your metadata, everything's looks good. Like all the also bots actually have time to actually separate out. And when you also, here's a little tip. If you're going to have them redone, your book covers, which I would recommend, see if there's any way that they can give you the cover with the font and a cover without the font. Then you have marketing opportunities, and that's actually specific to your book cover. So you'll actually be creating a really great marketing experience that's synced across your marketing and your book page, your landing pages. Anyways, it's a lot of information. And then
I just want to say that you made more money once you separated.
Oh yeah, out. It was like night and day. I mean, it was
crazy. It was like, whoa.
Yeah, it went from, I was making maybe $50 a month, and then suddenly I switched them out. And this was against what everybody was saying. Everyone was like, you don't need to switch them out. And these were big, huge authors saying this. They're like, you don't need to switch them out. Why? I have all of mine in there. And it was like, well, good for you. You're XXX, I'm not. And so when I finally did it, and I went back and forth for a long time, when I finally did it, I went from $50 a month to it was $1,500 on one pen name, and it was $2,500 on the other. And it was like immediately, bam, all of my marketing efforts were actually clear. And then I got a BookBub, and it went for that one pen name. It was $20,000 in 1 month. And it was very easy for them to find out what's Bonnie write? What does this name write? But if I'd had them together, that would have been just all kinds of awkward.
It would have been a nightmare because they wouldn't.
It would have sucked. It would have sucked trying to keep them all straight. Now it's 14, and I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, there's so many authors out there too, and reader attention span finding books is next to nil. So you have to be like, this is what the cover is 100%.
Yep, this is what it is. And they should be able to look at the cover and know what they're getting. That's, and I'm not going to lie, a lot of people are like, oh, well, I paid for these covers and they were $1,000 and da 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 da. And I'm like, there's no way I would pay that much money for a cover. And here's why. Not that the work isn't good. Not that I love book cover designers. I'm a book cover designer, and I think that they should be paid well for what they make. However, with how fast our market shifts and adjusts, and how much I think I have been through 9 cover iterations for just one of my really successful series. I change about once every 2 years, maybe even more, because the market shifts. So Clean and Wholesome Romance, which I'm in as a suite author, it was couples. And then it was couples with Desire Pro, which is a font. And then it was landscapes. And then it was a women's fiction style of landscape. And then that same thing, but you had to have covers, but they're this big instead of the size of the whole, instead of the size of the series. So it's you have to stay on top of it. And you can't do that if you're paying $1,000 a cover. You have to be I think I was max paying 100 and 150. And then I started learning my own. I was like, no, I'm just going to do my own because I can't afford this. Yeah. And I learned to research it. And now I shift out covers all the time. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to do this cover. I'm going to do this style of cover. I mean, Mandy is usually getting my covers sent to her. And I'm like, hey, what do you think of this? And she's like, no. Or she'll be like, yeah, actually, I like that one, or whatever.
Or here's a suggestion.
Yeah, here's a suggestion. But ultimately, you don't want to look self-pubbed. You want to make sure that you are, and if you are doing your own, which is great, like I said, whatever, I highly recommend. There is a couple of free font courses that Canva does, how to pair your fonts. And you don't have to use Canva. I don't use Canva for my ebook or for my covers. I use Photoshop. But to use the courses that they offer that are free, amazing because they really do teach you font pairing and how to use your colors and how to use the effects to make it. And they're really clear and they're short. They're really short courses.
Yeah. And so BookBrush, you can go in there. They have where you can make covers in there, but they have font pairings too. So you can go through and learn the different fonts. And I think that's amazing.
Yeah, I think I think it's great. So yes, that's our recommendations. Oh, and another thing, while you're researching the covers, research what the blurb should look like and work on figuring out from those really good blurbs that are done, like figure out, okay, what's their goal, what's their motivation, what's their conflict, and then go and rewrite your own blurbs, like rewrite them and work through them and have people look at them. And because blurbs are a huge deal. If you can get people to look at the cover and go from the cover to the blurb, you just sucked in a bunch of people. If you lose them at the blurb, though, all that work you've done is for nothing. So I hope that makes sense. It was a lot of information. That's a lot. If you have any questions, is there anything you want to add to that, Mandy?
No, I mean, TK, you can always shoot me a message and I'll look at something for you, if you have further questions.
Yeah. And we'd love to do a follow-up if you are able to. We would love to say, hey, yeah, these are the changes that you've made and let's see what you've done. We would love to do that. And I'm also curious why some things are up and what some things are down. And so anyways, yeah, that would be really interesting to see as well. I might even talk to you at Orb when we are there so I can ask you some questions because I'm really curious. Anyways, I hope this was helpful. Thank you for joining us on our brand spotlight for TK Lawyer. And if you yourself want to be spotlighted, please click the link below in the description. And there's a form and you can fill it out and we will fit it in. I don't think that we have anything else. Okay, so hit like and subscribe. And we would love to see you in our free Facebook group. And remember, Boss Mode's coming up at the end of August, and we would love to see you there.